Welcome back, viewers. So we are continuing on this very momentous occasion of 21st anniversary of our victory in the Kargil war. Our coverage of the events of the day. We just saw Raksha Mantri paying homage on behalf of the nation to the martyrs of the Kargil war, and as Major Arya was just discussing with Colonel Thapar, who also had his son Vijayant making that supreme sacrifice in that war. It was a team of young go-getting leaders of the Indian Army. In fact, there was a young lieutenant colonel by the name of Y.K. Joshi who was leading one of the teams, who's now the Northern Area Commander and is leading our actions and preparations and deployments, I would say, in the eastern sector along the line of actual control in the standoff with China. Let's go to Shravan. I'll hand it over to Shravan from here, and Shravan can then engage our guests on this conversation on what were the lessons, for example, from the Kargil war, how many of them were implemented, and then how many of them are actually relevant in our ongoing standoff with China in the Ladakh sector. Shravan.
Has been a reminder of the unalloyed heroism, and also the benchmark of the valor has been the heroism that has displayed during those grim weeks. Joining us on this special broadcast is Major D.P. Singh, and I would like to come across to Major D.P. Singh, because Major D.P. Singh, you've been rather an inspiration for generations. Given the fact, the kind of circumstances that you had to deal with, you've made the most out of it. Major D.P. Singh, what is it that you remember the most of the heroic, the sacrifice that was actually made by you and your colleagues? Tell our viewers about the difficulties, as Major Gaurav Arya was actually talking about, the difficulties perhaps that you and your comrades actually had to face on those icy heights. We'll try and reconnect with Major D.P. Singh. Let me take this question to Colonel V.N. Thapar. Colonel V.N. Thapar, this comes at a very interesting time. We are celebrating this at a very interesting time, given the fact that you've also written a book on the valor of your son, who's had to face a volley of bullets from those machine guns of Pakistani army, but he fought and he took the lead of taking his regiment forward, the Rajputana Rifles. In your book, you've also mentioned the letter that he had actually written to you. Tell our viewers a little bit about the last communication that you had with your son, because that in itself is a clear reflection of how every soldier within the Indian Army fought that war with so much of valor.
Well, actually, I am holding this book that I have written right in front of you. It is not only dedicated to my son, but it is dedicated to 529 young officers who laid down their lives in the Kargil war. And it has been released on this, especially on this occasion of the 21st Kargil Vijay Divas anniversary. Now, the last communication between my son and his commanding officer was an extremely touchy and a difficult conversation. Vijayant was engaged in a fierce firefight with the Pakistanis on Naul. There was a bunker right across Naul on a feature called Three Pimples, from where the Pakistanis were fiercely firing on him, and they were also responding with equal ferocity. By that time, his company commander, Major Padmapani Acharya, had been killed. That gave him a big jolt, because he admired him so much and he loved him so much. Then his senior JCO, Subedar Man Singh, was hit by a shrapnel in his back and he was lying unconscious there. So the command and the responsibility of capturing Naul came on the shoulders of young Vijayant, who was barely out of the academy and was in one of the fiercest fights at this moment. That's the time when Colonel Ravindranath, his commanding officer, got him on the radio and he told him, Vijayant, you just fall back 50 meters. Just 50 meters you fall back and come below the crest line. We are behind the enemy and tomorrow we will sort them out in the morning. So Vijayant, at that moment of time, how he told his CO that, sir, I have lost 8 men in coming here. Now if I go back, I will lose another 8 or 10 men and the Pakistanis come here. Again, I have to lose so many men to recapture this place. So, sir, I am not coming back. That was the last conversation he had with anybody other than the men who were fighting there with him. And that was regarding the letter, that was the last letter which has really shaken the whole nation. Everyone who has read it has not been left unaffected by it. In fact, I would like to tell you that the Chief of the Army Staff, General V.P. Malik, was also so moved by this letter that he had this letter sent to the Indian Military Academy for the motivation of young officers. On the other hand, the same letter was framed very nicely and put up in Chennai Officers Training OTA Academy in Chennai. So this is his last communications to us. It was written by him in the hope that in case he comes back, he will take the letter back from his friend Captain Toma and tear it off. But in case he is unable to come back, he will like to convey to his parents and family the values that he cherished, his thoughts and other such things. So therefore, this letter is a tremendous motivation, a document that motivates everyone in the country. I'll just give you 1 or 2 extracts of this letter. The first thing that he says is, by the time you get my letter, this letter, I will be observing you from the skies, enjoying the hospitality of Apsaras. That's the kind of statement in front when death is facing you. That is the kind of statement which only a brave and a bold officer can make. I mean, there's no remorse in him. The other one line that he wrote is so motivating. It's so important for the youth of the country and for the Indian Army, its young officers and jawans. He said, even I do not have any regrets about losing his life. I have no regrets. Even if God makes me a human again, I will join the Indian Army and fight for my nation. Now friends, that is the kind of motivation that must live in every Indian's heart. And that's the kind of thing that must get this nation going. The other things he writes are totally matters of great value. I mean, this nation comes above everything else. Nothing beyond. There's nothing more important than the nation. So that is what he has reflected in his letter. In fact, he told me to visit that place where they fought. And you all know that I go there every year. Unfortunately, now, today, I am here sitting with you, but my heart is there. That is the place where I would have loved to be. But due to various reasons, I cannot go there now. We'll see next month if I can go. So that is the thing. And then he says that you please come and visit this place. What I'm trying to say is, why did he say that? He knew that as an infantry officer, my father is quite capable of coming here. Not only am I a father, but I am also an officer. And he wanted me to see how well they had acquitted themselves in those places. And I want to tell you all that Colonel Ravindranath deeply appreciated my needs, my urge to see what my son had done there as a father, and also my urge to see how the battle was conducted and how he had acquitted himself. Friends, in the end, he says,
Right. Colonel Thapar.
okay, it's time for me to say bye-bye. And time to join my assault team of 12 people, 12 soldiers. He tells us, live life king size. Do not get into a syndrome of gloom and doom. Break out of it and live life king size. That's what I want to say, that we also decided to follow what he had told us, that it is not enough. We have lost him physically, but his spirit and his motivation is still with us, and we must utilize that to motivate all the young people of this country. That's what we are doing all the time. Thank you.
Right, Colonel Thapar, let me assure you, the nation is as proud as you are as a father and an officer of the supreme sacrifice made by Vijayantha. In fact, I was getting goosebumps while you were reading that letter. Let me just